Hello, good morning. This is my first live, and I'm gonna set up the camera so that you guys can see. Hey, so this is Lepay Rabbit Tree. Oh, I'm in Lepay Rabbit Tree. This channel is Lepay Lifestyle. So I just want to see if, pardon me if I'm wearing a mask. It's because I wore a mask. It's because I have allergies. So I'm setting up my laptop, or rather, my mom's laptop. So I borrowed this. Hello, guys. Isa, come here first. This is Isa, my eldest daughter. My other daughter is still in Dumaguete. She actually comes with me spearfishing. This is my nighttime spear gun, and this is her nighttime spear gun. Say hi to our viewers. She's a bit shy on camera, but she'll get used to it.
Eventually.
Yeah. She's already gotten used to spearfishing though. Because she accompanied me spearfishing. She already accompanied me spearfishing. How many times? Three, four times.
I don't know. I can't count no more.
More than 4 times.
Some of them weren't even spearfishing no more. Or like half of that were like half spearfishing and then half of it were nangin and stuff.
So this is her spear gun. If you guys want to see, I'll put it closer. Her, it's a tri-tip. This is for nighttime. This, I'm still gonna have to make changes on this. I'm gonna take this off. And then there's a cut underneath. This is used to, very useful for her for the kuan. For, what's this? If one rubber breaks, the design to that is once one rubber breaks, the other one is in the floater. So she won't need to fix the rubber in order to continue diving. And I haven't teached her how to fix the gear. So I'm gonna have to teach her one of these days when she's not that busy in school. So I'm taking the rope off. Okay, so right here. So this rubber can be taken off by flipping it, and then the bridle is because it's 2 mm, it goes right through the crack. And then you just take out the spear and voila, the rubber is taken off. Now there's only one rubber, which in nighttime spearfishing, you actually just need one rubber. It's good, okay? You don't shoot long distance in nighttime because the only thing you can see is how deep your flashlight goes. So this we call this palihan, or the rope for so that the spear can travel a bit more distance than kuan than the length of your spear. And again, in nighttime, you do not need a lot of distance to kuan because most of the time I shoot fish, squid, cuttlefish, or you call that rabbit fish. Most of the time, they're just in close proximity. Wait, huh? Okay, sorry for that intermission. So, so that was her spear gun. Now, this, on the other hand, is my spear gun. It it was a little hard for me to unravel her rope. That's because the one that my companion spearfishing the other night was the one who used is a spear gun. So for me, oops, almost got the light right there. Let me readjust that. Okay, so this is my spear gun. Funny thing is, this this almost got my camera lost last dive. So I'm trying to figure out another way to kuan to mount. Oh, actually, I already we're trying something new. I'm gonna tell you later. But let me finish how to explain my setup and my spear gun. So my spear gun is a little bit lighter than her spear gun, just because I newly uh, newly replaced the boom. We call this here in my town boom because um, in the old days when I just got started spearfishing, they used the boom of an antenna as the body or this part of the spear gun. And then here, it's made from PVC plastic, the the thick PVC plastic, and then just carve out the middle, and then place the trigger mechanism inside, and then the lock for the trigger is here, right here. So there's a screw to bind it all in place. The next lock for this trigger is actually in the body. So this holds it from breaking apart. So I'm gonna take the rope off. It's very simple because we call it walu or eight. It's it's in the form of an eight. How to take off the rope? Yeah, just go there and then right here. So right there and then right here. So the form is like that. So that's why it's eight here and then here and then there. From left to right and then from left to right. And then you make a cross in the middle. So this way is really easy because once you take it out here, you drop it down, it falls right into place. See, like that. So now you can see my spear gun better. Now This is a new addition to my spear gun. This is gonna make a loud noise, or it's gonna make noise or vibration under. So I'm gonna have to put some kind of rubber underneath so that this won't bang. Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get some rope from this reel, 2 mm Dynema. So I'm gonna tie this rope. Gonna tie this rope right in there. I'm gonna make a knot. Oh wait. Gonna make a loop first, and then I'm gonna make a knot so that the longer this thing the harder this thing pulls, the and the harder the knot is gonna become. See, so it locks right there. I'm gonna turn off the fan because when I burn the tip, it's gonna. So, oh, the electric fan. Okay. So I break the fibers, and then burn it, then lock. Okay. So I need just enough to reach this hole in the shark's fin. and I need a little more so that I can tie. Okay. So I burned the tip to make it easier for me to put it inside. Take the spear out. Put the dynamo inside. Oh no, that's not good. The thing is, the hole is very small. It's just enough for a 2 mm dynamo to pass through. And if you're not careful by one, I made a mistake, but thankfully I can just do this to make a loop. So when installing this 2 mm dynamo, I want this to flop behind. So I have to tie this off right about an inch. Yeah, an inch is good. An inch and a half. Two, for me, two is a bit too far. Ang 2 inch. Okay. I I think I'm a bit short of cord. Oh, not a bit short, but I have just enough for me to squeeze it in. Okay, so this needs to lock also, because if it doesn't lock in place, then what's the use? So that's, I'm slowly adjusting the cord, almost painstakingly adjusting it so that this and these two will align. Every time I pull, I can adjust more. Okay, that's good enough. There's a little play, but so this this design I'm gonna try out for the first time next time I spearfish. So it goes like this. So like that. So when you spear a fish, the spear goes out and then it pierces your target. No. So let's imagine the target is this paper bag. So it pierces this paper bag, oh, plastic bag, sorry. Pierces this plastic bag, and then you just push the target right through, and then this rope is going also to act as your stringer. So after you push your fish down, you load your spear again, like so. So your fish is going to be right here, and this carabiner and this, we call this sulbaran in my kuan. This thing is sulbaran. I don't know what the English name of this is. Sulbaran. Yeah, oh yeah, I remember. Swivel. So it's a swivel so that the line is always kept straight. So the fish is gonna be here. Every time you spear, more and more fish is gonna be stored here. But if you already have too much fish to be stored here, of course, the secondary stringer is gonna be found right here on my float, which is also gonna be attached by a carabiner, and the carabiner will also have a swivel so that it will help avoid, not avoid, but minimize tangles. Because in rough conditions, it's very hard to avoid tangles, especially when you spearfish and there are big waves. Sorry about the background music at the back, but there are people working. They're using their heavy equipment and their power tools. So last night dive, I actually almost lost my camera because of this mount. But at least now we just added a rubber washer to make it more tight, and now it's more sturdy. This used to be like that, like that. The mount used to be like that, but when I load, I hit the camera and I have to readjust it every time. So I'm gonna try to put it a little more back and see if it's a better placement right there, or something new altogether by putting a mount on the flashlight. So this is the underwater case that I use. It's all clear. So you put your underwater case right here, and then you lock it with this. So now you can't see the camera's light because I took off the battery. Because Every time after a dive, I always change the battery and charge the battery. So this is a new improvement to this flashlight. I still have to test it, how it goes, how it will function underwater. I think this is a good setup for nighttime diving, but in daytime diving, I'm not sure because I haven't done that yet, except for the test, and the test didn't go well because um this is my camera. This is a DJI DJI Osmo Action, and then I changed the lens here with a red one because it would it would make the this is the video look better. But apparently, as I tinkered with this and how I learned about the features, I found out that it already had a underwater feature. So I just clicked on the underwater feature, and then the the night dive, I wasn't using the red lens anymore. So that's good. I'm gonna reserve the red lens for deeper dives. If in the future I dive deeper, or might even if I scuba dive, I might scuba dive again because I have a daytime spear now. So the person I bought this camera from said that this DJI camera is equal or similar to GoPro 8 and GoPro 9. I can't compare because this is my first underwater camera that I have ever used. So I can't give you an any assessment on that matter. But here, this is my extension. So I can extend this higher if I do not like the where the camera is situated. So just put it on like that, tighten it up, and then put the DJI DJI camera like so. Okay, I'm not gonna tighten all of them up to full, but maybe this one underneath. So like that. So I can choose to mount it this way, or I can choose to mount it in front, like so. Or like this, on top. Now, since there's a battery, I can make it shine. So let me break it down. Okay. So this is like this. I think it's a bit too loose. This thing is a bit too loose. So I'm gonna take it down, take this plastic off. At least I already showed you how it works. Keep that. Okay. Like that. I could also attach a bungee on this. So if in case I attach a bungee on this, I already pre-cut a size, but this is too long for my use here. So if I use a bungee here, if I use a bungee, I don't think I'm gonna need this kuan. If I use a bungee, I don't think I'm gonna use a carabiner anymore. But definitely, I'm still gonna use this swivel or sulbaran. So for you to see, like this bungee cord, which I bought online, and then it happened to have a fake rope inside. So if you use these kind of bungee cords and then you use it for and you shoot a big fish and then it tears off the bungee cord, this is not gonna hold because the rope outside is 2 mm Dyneema. The rope inside is just regular rope. So that's why I make my own and I use Dyneema to make mine. So we're gonna use this 2 mm Dyneema. Sorry, I have to pause because of the wind. So here in my town, in Bindoy Negros Oriental, it is amihan season, meaning windy season. So from time to time, the wind is gonna blow. So I'm gonna put this 2 mm Dyneema inside this bungee. But first, I have to decide how long is the bungee that I'm gonna use. I figure half would be good. It's hard cutting on metal. I should use this wood later. If I use this Dyneema, I'm also gonna have to get some to tie the ends with. First, but before I tie the ends, I'm gonna have to figure out how long I want my bridle. Making a bridle, I always use a figure of 8. Figure 8. And then put the rope inside. and then through here, and then tighten it off. Okay, that looks good. This is gonna become my insert. So now this koan, this bungee cord is gonna be one piece because you see that the Nemo going down from here to the other end. It's gonna be the same height. So and the Nenima inside should be curled up. You can stuff it in like this inside right here, but I prefer to pinch this and then stretch the rubber. I just stretch the rubber like so and then pinch down, and then when see it naturally it forms loops inside. So like that. So now I just make another bridle right here. So I take out a little of the rope like so, and then make a bridle right here. The same, make a figure of eight, and then you pull to tighten the knot. Make sure the lines are in place so that it's easier for you to insert. I'm gonna use my teeth because I forgot to bring my long nose pliers. I'm gonna cut this right there because this is now excess. But before I continue, I am gonna have to tie this part first, or else I might pull this out. So it's the same way as you Juan. It's as you tie your rubbers for your spear gun. Just use a constrictor knot. And then you form right here. Okay. Okay. Flare out the fibers so that I can burn it faster. Wait for the amihan wind to subside. So the wind coming from left to right is amihan, and the wind coming from right to left, we call that habagat. So now, our season now, we call it nagilog ang amihan ug abagat, meaning the amihan is fighting against the habagat because from amihan season we're gonna go to habagat wind season. Okay, so this side is done. The tricky part is letting the other side go in to this part. Oh shoot, I almost forgot. Almost forgot to burn the end. So now, gonna use WD-40 to lubricate the this other bridle. I'm using WD-40 just because I have WD-40 in front of me. Okay, see how easy that was? Just pull it down and it goes inside. Like so. So now I'm gonna make another constrictor knot right here inside to tie these. Just the same as you would tie rubber. Your rubber to a spear gun. You bahig, you arrange the rope so that when you squeeze it, it they are when you squeeze they are in place. Once pulled, that's it. That's all you need. Cut the excess. Okay? Flare it out so that it's easier to burn. Wait for the habagat wind to subside and then burn. Other end. Oh, the wind almost went to the my rubber. Very bad. You don't want to burn your rubber. So now I could choose to attach this carabiner, or I could choose to attach this. Oh no! Damn, it slipped. You're gonna have to redo this. So this time I'm gonna tie it on the bulge. Oh no, one line dropped. I need the two lines to be together. Oh my gosh, it slipped again. What? This is the first time this has happened. It slipped twice. I think I know my mistake. But I only have this much bridle, 2 mm left. I figure out what my mistake is. Gonna have to tie my constrictor knot before the bulge. I need to see the other one I did. The other one is right here in my daytime spear gun. And this one I made worked perfectly. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. That's right. I put the constrictor knot underneath the bulge when it's supposed to be before the bulge. Yeah. Well, I figured it out even without taking this other spear gun out. So I'm just gonna have to finish this one. Very cool. Oh no, 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 no. The other rubber slipped. The other line slipped down. So I'm just gonna put both of them down. Yep, that's it. So overconfidence isn't good. I was confident that I was doing it right because I did it right the first time I did it. A first couple of times I did it. And then now I committed a mistake. So I had to think again. What did I do wrong when I did it right two times in a row? So the thing I did wrong was just the placement of the knot. Instead of putting the knot here in front of this bulge, I put it right here at the back, which made the bungee cord slip. Waiting for the wind to stop. Okay. So now I'm gonna redo the other side because if this gear breaks while spearfishing, I don't think I can fix it. The only way to ensure that none of these things happen is I make every knot and everything I do perfect right here before I go spearfishing. A little bit more. Oh, shoot. Sorry. Okay. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. This isn't it. Almost committed another mistake. Supposed to be inside. Like so. No. It broke. Ow. Hot, 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 hot. But that's it. So just for demonstration, I'm gonna put this, gonna use this to hold. See? So that's how it. Oh shoot! It broke once again. Which one broke? Yeah, this one that wasn't placed very well. So I'm gonna need a long nose for this. I'm gonna let that be. I'm gonna fix it later because I might run out of time. This is my daytime spear gun. Lepay Lifestyle. And if I flip it over, sorry, I hit the light. It's Lepay spearfishing. So, Lepay is our native language here, Bisaya. Lepay meaning happy. So, happy spearfishing, happy lifestyle. So, Lepay lifestyle, of course, is happy lifestyle. Lepay spearfishing means happy spearfishing. So, that's it. Di ba? So, what I have here is a DIY spear gun. I personally designed this spear gun, but I was not the one who built the spear gun. This is a double roller. It's this is the prototype, and it still has some changes that need to be done. Some minor, some major, but the major changes gonna have to be done hopefully before next year, but it's workable and it's a very strong spear gun. It throws this 7 mm spear tulo kadupa. Tulo kadupa is a length like this. This is my dupa. So my dupa is 6 feet. So if it throws the spear tulo kadupa like this, so that means this spear gun throws this spear or this shaft 18 feet. So that's quite a distance for a spear gun, especially since I'm used to nighttime fishing where my spear only travels like 4 to 5 feet away. And now I have a spear gun which throws a spear 18 feet away. So as I mentioned earlier, As you can see, this spear gun is a roller spear gun. And it has two rubber bands because it's a double roller. So our first test with this spear gun, um, we tested it out in the next town because it's amihan or windy season, and here in our place it's very hard to approach the sea because it has big waves. So we went to the next town because they had a port which shelters them from the big waves. So we tried the spear there, and I there is where I tested it that it throws the spear for 18 feet, and I also managed to get one small mangrove snapper. In our local dialect, we call it mangagat. I don't know why it's called mangagat, but mangagat is supposed to be um, kanang something that bites. It's the act of biting. Mangagat. I don't know why they call it why they call this fish that, but in other countries they call it mangrove snapper, which is a very delicious fish. In our dialect, lami kayo. So basically, this is it. I'm gonna try to learn how to use this. And yesterday, we improved this further. Or let me explain to you after we tested it. So after we tested it, because I had a hard time loading the spear gun, um, I had Jim put make taller shark's fin so that it would be easier to load. There would be another solution to that by taking some wood right here beside the spear so that when the rubber is pulled, it's gonna situate where the wood is, where you took wood, but it's gonna be a major change in the spear gun, especially since it's all painted already. It's painted and it's ready to rock, and I already caught my first mangrove snapper with my first testing of this spear gun. The funny thing is because this was mounted like this on top of my head. And I didn't know that at the time that I dove down, it was like my sixth dive going down. I didn't know that the camera tilted down. So the only thing that it was getting was pictures of my spear. Well, that's that happens. The only fish that I caught wasn't on video, which was a bummer, but I've learned a lot since then. So now the camera is gonna be mounted right here. On this, or on this. MDV mount. This goes right here. That's why I bring this multi-tool in my with my spear gun. And I don't know where I put my other tool. It's just a knockoff version of a Leatherman multi-tool with a long nose. So if I need to fix any rubber, I can do so. But I happen to misplace the one. I misplaced it. No, shoot. Wait. Yeah, this one's bigger. Now, why did that happen? Okay. Just arranged it because it fell out of order. And when I mounted the spear gun right here, it also actually it also gave me better pictures than mounting it from the other way. Later I'm gonna introduce you to Jimpot before this video ends. If any one of you out there wants to have a spirit gun made just like this, and you want your own special specs or design, you can contact him because he makes really, really good spear guns. And he listens to what you want. I'm not gonna tighten it down too much. I just want you guys to get an idea on how this is done, or how this looks. because you never know. There might be somebody else out there who wants to know and who wants to learn how to go into and make content for YouTube by spearfishing also. Where me, I learned through one. I learned this um, through watching YouTube videos, researching online, watching what was that? Watching pictures also online, observing and learning. Oh, and what do you know? It just fell out. See, this is the other tool, multi-tool that I use. So it has a long nose, which is very useful in the putting bridle and making tying the constrictor knots on the rubber. So it's on. This goes here. So when you're spearfishing, the camera is right there and you can see the angle. The difficult thing about when wearing a head cam is it's hard to notice if your camera is on or off. And I find that very difficult. So I don't think that's for me at this point of time, when I still have a lot of things to learn. Because this is my first time, or I mean, I am transitioning from a nighttime spear fisher into a daytime spear fishing. So I know it's not going to be easy, and I know I have to start from scratch. That's why I'm approaching this with an open mind. I'm learning every day and every time I get to spearfish. I'm planning to go this afternoon after this live. I'm planning to go to try this out, and whether I catch a fish or not, either way, I'm happy. But if I don't get to go this afternoon, it's still okay. I'll just find another time for it. Because like now that I'm live, so I had to absent from my work. So since my YouTube channel is still very young and I do not make any money from it, so I just treat it as a hobby. And even if such time that I earn money from it, it might still not be enough to feed my family. And I have two kids to send to school. And even if I catch fish, it might not still be enough. So it's just going to be a hobby for now. And the near foreseeable future. But hopefully, this channel might eventually kick off and I might also make some money out of it. I would be lying to you if I would say that I would not like to make money out of it. Well, I would love to make a ton of money out of these videos if God permits it. Just like in spearfishing at night, before I dive, I always pray because God is in everything we do. For me, when I start my day, it's best to start it being grateful. Being grateful for God, being grateful for my children, being grateful for my family. Those are the main three things that I'm grateful about. Well, I can add so many things to that list, but those are the main three every day. So after praising God and having praising Him by being grateful for everything that I have in life. The next thing is preparing for the day, which usually is the next thing usually is a prayer. After the prayer, the next thing I do is, or I used to do, was a journal. I make a journal, or was it meditation before a journal? I even forgot my routine, guys. You know why? I'm getting fatter. And I stopped my keto diet for mga 2 months. So that's why I got fatter. I need, not really that I need to go back to my keto diet because how many days is it? I'm 3 days in, 3 or 4 days into my keto diet. I'm not logging it down anymore like I used to in a notebook. Every day. Meal, 8 o'clock. How long did it take me to eat the meal? 12 minutes. But now, no, I'm making it easier for me because I'm more used to the keto now than I was before. So I'm also slowly transitioning into uh, keto lifestyle. I was even thinking once to call my channel Lepay Keto Lifestyle. So, but it's just a little too long for me. Adding the keto in between the lifestyle, and oh yeah, it's gonna fit the spear gun, but because there's still space here and there's a ton of space here. So yeah, it would have fit actually, the spear gun. But I don't want to use a really long one. Let me get this out of the way first. I don't want to use a really long name. So that's why I just went with Lepay Lifestyle. I was gonna call this channel Lepay Spearfishing, but the longer I thought of it, spearfishing is only one part of the channel. There's other parts of the channel, like blogging. When I go to a restaurant, I blog about the restaurant, especially when I visit a friend's restaurant. And when I visit a friend's place, like um, Lulu Size Grill House, when I visit there, I blog it. So why not blog it in YouTube when I'm already blogging in Facebook? So, and I'm also slowly transitioning away from Facebook into YouTube because I also heard that people make more money here in YouTube than Facebook. Personally, I don't know because I just had my first payday in Facebook early this year. That was my first. And then in YouTube, I just started and haven't had a payday yet. And I don't even have ads yet. So I hope I could someday. And if God willing, I might even earn a lot of money here in this platform. God willing and me hoping. If I wasn't hoping, I wouldn't open this channel. And I would just keep my personal channel where I put my spearfishing and blogging also there in my other channel. But since I have this channel now, I'm gonna turn that channel into my personal channel. So I might not make some of those videos open to public. But here in this channel, every single video is gonna be public. So, what else about the spear gun? After the first test, we made the shark's fin taller. Oh, um, this spear gun is made out of mostly MDV, MDV trigger, MDV roller, and mount setup, MDV spear, 7 mm, and of course, the one I just put on, the MDV camera mount. So if M if MVD, sorry, MVD, okay. If MVD wants to make us a sponsor or would like to sponsor our videos, I would be glad to because I am still saving up also for more MVD parts. Because hopefully in the future, I could also turn my night spear gun. I'm gonna, this is um, a 90, I think, or 80 cm spear gun. I'm gonna turn it into a 100 or a 110. So I'm gonna need another roller setup for this. Just drilling it here and somewhere there or basta. It's not my job to build it. It's my job to make a design and then talk to Jimpot Amorio. Talk to him if kaya niya Come on. Or in English, if he is able to do it. Because I always ask him if he can do it. Because if he tells me that he can't do it because it's too difficult, so that means I have to find another design, something that he can do. Because there would be no reason for me to create a design that he can't do. Although he is very talented and he's a jack of all trades, but of course, there's always a limit to what a person does. Maybe he hasn't learned the skill to do the that thing yet at that time. And maybe in the future he could. But if he says that he can't at the moment, then I believe him. And then I look for other solutions or other ways of doing it. Okay? So this, yeah, I told you about this, the amount of this, like that. And I already talked to you about our new setup for the light. This is for nighttime diving, but I'm also thinking of making a mount for this other flashlight. This flashlight, I'm planning on using this in caves for morning dives. So, with my gear, have a spear gun. You already know all the rollers, all the shaft, the roller set, the trigger, the spear or the shaft, and the camera mount is all MBD. And I got it from Shopee. Rubbers, both rubbers are from Lifespear. Lifespear, they have very good rubbers. They're not the best, but they're more on na sa middle or higher than middle average. They're not low quality, they're middle, they're good quality and slightly above good quality. But there are still rubbers that are better, like the Spirit, which is said to be made from USA. I cannot confirm that or deny it because I don't know where it is made. The Leicester, on the other hand, is made in the Philippines. So it's above good quality. That I can say because I've already used it. And I've been using it in my nighttime spearfishing. But I've also used the Spirit rubber. And I can say it is of a different quality. It is really good. It lasts longer. Um, it has a longer pull, easier pull, and the conversion rate is better. Conversion rate meaning conversion into your pull into the power of the spear. So that's what I mean. And oh, oh yeah. Before I go on, this metal rod we put there to go on. This is we put that there to protect the rubber. And so that the spear gun will not flip. Because before, this spear gun, when you put it in the water, it flips like that. So that was its natural um, setting when you let go of it underwater. And I do not like a spear gun that's gonna flip. I like a spear gun that's gonna remain like that for reasons that if I need to use it right away, just grab on and then point and then shoot. And this that I've mentioned earlier, the bungee that I made, this, you know what? I noticed a flaw. Ah, I am gonna have to redo this bungee too. This one on top is good. This one, nope, not good at all. This needs to be placed in front, right here. After the bulge. It's before the bulge. Or, yeah, I better do this na lang. I'll just add what's this? Another constrictor knot right here. So that it will have two ropes. Do I still have? I still have. I'm gonna tie off the tip so I can bite on it. And I'm gonna pull the other end, as you can see, with the long nose pliers. You know what? I think I locked an import. I'm gonna have to call an import for this. The gym pot. Sayop ni siya. Okay. Pagtaod ako aning usa, ay ang bulge ang katong hiniktan, di ba? Para mo mag bridal.
Oh.
Naa sa ulahi. Naa ang hikot sa unahan. Kani kinaaman sa ulahi. Naa.
Ay,
Naaman sa ulahi ang hikot. So,
Ay,
sorry for speaking Bisaya, but I'm explaining to him that my error was putting the rope before the bulge. This, by the way, is Jimput. He is the one who built this spear gun and who repairs my spear gun and to improvise this. And he also made our water tank post setup. So he's the guy that I told you about, Jimput Amorio. So if there's any Spiro in the Negros area, just needs to come to Bindoy and tell him that they want a spear to be done. Of course, you have to buy the materials and let him build it. And you have to give him the money na daan for pila ka days nga build. Di ba? Okay, he also needs to feed his family. That's why if you want him to build a spear gun, you buy all the materials, give it to him, explain to him how you want it built, just like how I told him on how to make this, and we both combined forces to create this prototype. It's not yet fully done, but hopefully in the future, the both of us will finalize this build. And we're actually gonna spearfish together also. So the next thing to do is, after me, I'm gonna also tell him to go into YouTube. So, okay guys, we're gonna pull the rubber tight. I put kuan bulge para mabira na to dito ka. Padulong ka dito. Diyan ako dire. So I told him to pull that way because I'm pulling this way. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's good. So this, I'm gonna cut it later. But I'm glad that you guys got to meet my daughter and then Jimput, who is my companion spearfishing and the one who made this spear gun.
Yan daw.
Okay, thank you kayo po. I'm finalizing the one. Like before, we loosen the fibers. Wait for the wind to die off. Okay? Woo! May gani. Whew. You guys are a lifesaver. Because if I wasn't here explaining, I would not have looked at this again. Because I thought that this is perfect. I already thought that this was perfect and didn't need. By perfect, I mean the bungee cord. Because I already explained to you guys that there's still a ton of work that need to be done here. And asa pa kukut, I told you about the shaft, the shark's fin. This shark's fin is a new addition. It makes it easier to load because we can rest the rubber right here and then do the final pull after this. So this I haven't tested this out yet because the first time we test this gun, it didn't have this shark's fin and it was shorter. The shark's fin were shorter, which made it really hard to pull the rubbers. Because when I pulled the rubbers like that, I needed to push down the under part of my wrist just to one, just to put these ropes down. So to give you an idea, it's like this. When I pull the rubber like this, and then this makes a U right here. So I had to push this down like that for it to catch on the shark's fin. And then I had to do that twice because there are two rubbers. And at the same time, at that time, this in the front is a new addition, these two rods. It's made so that for easy loading of the shaft afterwards because with without these two rods, it's really small and it's really hard for the spear to go in. You have to twist it and then pull these two rubbers up and then push it and then the second rubber na po imong i-pull up while pressing down right here. So it's really difficult to load it. But now it's really simple to load it because you don't have to pull the rubbers anymore in order to fit the shaft. And courtesy again to Jimpot Amorio. He's the one that added these two rods. And then the next is the trigger. This trigger used to be without this, just that. See? And look how small that is. So I told him to extend it. So that's why he extended a little bit like this. So now the trigger is long and it's easier to pull. And also this, the rope release. The rope release used to be really small. So I had him extend it a little bit more, a half inch more. Because if you tried to load it fast, the rope was keeping on slipping off. So it even made it more difficult to load this gun. What else is a new improvement? I think that's it. But the rollers here are a little bit under the wood. So that means if I roll, this is the roller. The roller is situated here. So the rubber has to go up onto the wood. And then when you pull it, there's going to be friction on the wood. That's why I'm thinking about taking some of the wood here after the roller. Taking some of that wood off up here and underneath. which is also gonna make this spear gun smaller, but it's also gonna be a double-edged sword because it is also gonna change the balance of the spear gun. So we've finished balancing the spear gun, so we're gonna have to balance it again because I'm taking material. In this case, if I do that, I'm gonna be taking out wood, and wood is buoyant. It makes this spear gun float. So if I take out wood, that means it's gonna make these rods underneath even more heavier with the balance. So that means this spear gun is gonna sink right away if I take out wood materials from this spear gun. So I'm gonna have to exchange these rods with a smaller rod. And hopefully, when mataod na ang smaller rod, it's gonna be balanced also. But we'll see when that happens. But it's not gonna happen in the near future. I'm gonna use this spear gun as is and learn what I can about spear fishing in the day. Because I've already learned a ton spear fishing at night for like how many years? 15 to 20 years of my life spear fishing at night. And now I'm just starting spear fishing in the day. And to tell you what, because I love the sea, I still love spear fishing in the day, even if it's totally different from spear fishing at night. And I know that I need to learn a ton. Do you know why? Fish and the corals behave different in the day, and they look different in the day than at night. So those things I am gonna have to learn. The fish movements, and there are a lot of fish in the sea, but concentrating more on target species. But sometimes our curiosity always will get the better of us, and even though we're spearfishing, even if I'm spearfishing at night, I take photos of those spider crabs the other day. I took uh, how many clips of two, three clips of the spider crabs. Might even have a clip on dunsol. So dunsol is or makes lokot, which is a delicacy in our place. They say it's seaweed, but I think it's more on it's the eggs of a dunsol. Meaning when the dunsol mate, they leave lokot or their eggs behind. So that's what we are eating, the eggs of the dunsol. When we were spearfishing last night, there were a ton of dunsol and they were big, really big. I didn't even see any small ones, so that was puzzling to me. Why I could see only big dunsol. I didn't see any small ones. Here in our place, which is the next town from where they are at, we find small ones, we find big ones, but not as much as there was there in their town. And the ones there were all big. I couldn't find any small ones. So that's a question that's been at the back of my mind since the other day. So, guys, thank you for viewing. This is Lepay Lifestyle. Oh, and on the last note, you know why this is shorter than these hairs? Because I went spearfishing to avoid water from going in from here. So the next time I'm gonna spearfish, I'm gonna shave this off again. Now after this video, I'm gonna get a haircut because my mask was difficult to put on. It catch my hair all the time. So I'm gonna cut my hair short after this video, and I'm gonna shave also. So hopefully I can go daytime spearfishing later. On 3 o'clock. No, not 3 o'clock. Well, 4 o'clock, hopefully. But if dili makaya, I'll just find another schedule for it. Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you all for dropping by, and hopefully next live, or you can learn as I learn to learn how to daytime spearfish. So, okay, guys. Lipay Lifestyle signing off. Where's the mouse? Bye bye. God bless. Wala lagi ni click.